Hi guys, welcome back to Chess the Matthew. So on this video, we will tackle about the piece value of rook. So the rook is equal to 5 pawns. So on this practical example, we shall see that the rook can actually stop these 5 pawns from the intention for promotion. So with the help of white king, the rook can successfully stop these 5 pawns. So first thing to do as white with the rook is to break these connected pawns into two islands. For example, after rook to e1, attacking the e pawn. So after it advance, then the king must go forward nearer to these pawns. And after, for example, king b6, king c3, king c5, and here comes now the rook g1, so that after g4 the white here can successfully break these connected pawns into two islands after rook f1, because even though the pawn here will be advanced, it will be captured with the rook. So let's say for example after g3 and after rook takes to f5, so we shall see now the important pattern on this position. So after the connected pawns will be converted into two islands, for example in this position, then it will be easy for white to gobble all the pawns if the blocker will not do his job to defend his pawns. So let's say for example in this position, the rook successfully convert the connected pawns into two islands, while the job of the white king is to stop this black king to go his forward moves by blocking the black king here. So that was the job of the king, to keep an eye to the black king, while this rook will defend or try to stop these pawns for promotion. So this rook will keep an eye to these pawns, while this king also do his job by stopping this king to have some forward moves, and again stopping these pawns also for an intention of promotion. So let's say for example after h4, rook to g5, so that the g pawn cannot pushes forward because he will be defenseless. So after king to d6, so again king to d4, and keeping an eye to the black king. And after king e6, again king e3, king f6, king f4, and we reach now this position which is actually a forced draw, because for example after d4, let's say d4, rook to f5, and king to g6. So again on this position, there is now a forced draw, because after rook to g6, the white here can force the black here to go with a threefold repetition. For example after check, and after king f6, check, check, and again ended up into a threefold repetition draw. Because for example in this position, if the black king here will go with these squares, then he will be immediately lost the game. For example after king to e6, because there is e5 check, and again the pawns will be easy target for the white rook and king, for example on this position, and the black lost the game, which ended up with the king and rook versus the king. So going back for example after rook f5 check, let's say for example after king g6, rook g5, and again if the black king here tries to move his king away from the squares, then he will be totally lost the game. For example, after king to e6, and the move of rook to g8, then after e3, trying to promote, but there is king to f3. So like I said, later on the king will try to stop the pawns, and after king h5, trying to target now the undefended pawn, h3, check, capture, king move, capture, and it is very easy for the white here on his position to capture all these pawns because the king cannot push forward to defend his pawns. So going back on this position in which it is actually a forced draw, although the white here can try some couple of moves after, for example, king to d6 and looking for another possibility so that the black here may commit a mistake, but the black here should play a3 because after king f3 trying to stop that pawn, h3, king takes g3, e2 trying to promote, rook to a1 trying to stop the promotion, d3, and here the white here should not play king h3 because there's simple d2, and after a5 check, king move, check, king move, and trying to put his king near to the rook so that there will be no checks at all, and after rook to e4, and here we go now the pawn promotion to queen. So after d3, the white king here should play king f2. So that after, for example, king f5 trying to march his king to defend the pawns, and after king to e3 trying to win that pawn, but the black king here should play to the other side for another attempt for promotion, and after king takes, king f3 trying to defend that pawn, rook to e1, and h2 because the white rook here cannot capture that pawn because there's simple h1 promotion to queen, and after rook to e3, king f4, king d2, and some couple of moves of queen g2, rook to e2, and queen to g1, and it is very easy here for white to win the game with the queen and king in game versus rook and king. So after h2, the white here should play king to d2, and for example after king g2, rook takes with a check, king g1, and again there is a simple rook to e1 check, and after king g2, rook takes h1, and king takes h1, and we ended up in a theoretical draw with only white and black kings on the board. So going back to the initial position of the practical example to this kind of theory that the rook is equal to 5 pawns, the white here should try first to make some 2 islands for disconnected rooks, for example, and after that the white king here will try to keep an eye to this black king so that he cannot have some possibility to go forward to help his pawns for the promotion. And for example, after h4, rook g5, king d6, and again the white king will try to shoulder now the black king, and after king e6 again, for example, and here we shall see in this position now that this is a forced draw for the white because he can go with a threefold repetition with rook f5 check, for example, after in this position. And although the white can try another moves, for example, after rook to a5, trying to emphasize that the white rook can actually stop that pawns with the help of the white king. For example, in this position in which all the 5 pawns here are now just 2 pawns, and again after check and a draw. So that's all. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to subscribe.